All right, next we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. How do you feel about this? I don't know why I said it like
Well,
that. All right, we're
you know
fucking
what?
done.
Yeah. Hey, Minnesota put up a closer fight than I thought they were going to,
Yeah.
and they actually kind of. I've been thinking they were maybe a sleeper playoff pick, and I think they still are, and they showed that they could be. I know they lost, but if there's, I don't really believe in moral victories. But if there's anything close to a moral victory, hey, you lost by 3 points to Denver. You showed you can at least contend. Now just get over the hump, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
And
I believe that too. I
AP,
always said that before the season started. I felt that the Vikings could be a really tough team to play, and I think they're slowly getting better every single week. And contending against Denver's defense like that it
right?
showed a lot. But I'm
I
sorry. Go
mean,
ahead.
well, I was just gonna say they lost because Denver shut down Adrian Peterson. That's the bottom line.
He did have that really amazing run
He
towards
had
the end
that
of that.
one breakout touchdown run, but
Yeah.
before that, his stats outside of that play are not good.
And honestly, you
So
know who really lost that game for him was Bridgewater with the fumble at the end.
yeah, he did. He
So,
did.
it's the second year pro, and he was doing very well. Against Peyton Manning. Well, not Peyton Manning, so but against
Right.
Broncos defense and
Right.
going toe to toe with Manning. I mean, even Peyton Manning had 2 interceptions that game, so that could have
Denver
been the.
is. I just don't even know how they're doing it. They just keep winning somehow. It's like Tebow is
And
still there on the
always very.
sidelines. Like, but yeah, I mean, the Denver hasn't looked that great, but I mean, they're still winning. So
But always barely. This is the thing.
yeah,
It's
but
always
they won.
barely. It's just yeah. I
They're
don't know what that
probably the
is.
weakest undefeated team. They're still good. I'm not like shitting on them too much there. But Denver they
I'm
look vulnerable. They look like a playoff team for sure, but they don't look like a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And
Yeah.
even maybe even as far as the weakest undefeated, because I was quick recapping in my head who was left as undefeated,
Yeah.
and yeah, but their defense is really good. And
It is. It is. If Peyton Manning, or if they get the run game going, it just needs some work. They're in a new scheme, and they don't look bad. They just don't look great. I guess it's similar to we've called J.J. Watt and Rodgers. Peyton Manning kind of suffers for that same thing, and honestly has been suffering it for a lot longer than Rodgers or Watt.
yeah,
Anytime he plays down at all, it's like, oh, Manning's not setting records, so he's not having a good season.
I and
I mean,
I still don't necessarily believe that it's his age that's really doing it. I mean, partially maybe. I,
it's got something to do with it for sure.
I mean,
It's not
okay,
all of it,
realistically, if he was like 28, 29 years old and they're gonna put him in the new offense
right?
like that they're putting him, yeah, he could adjust like no other. But being 39, kind of has some trouble, and I still think it was just a terrible decision. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. I think I've said that every single week so far, and I'm just beating a dead horse
You're
at this point.
still you still don't know why they fired John Fox.
Yeah, I guess. Really.
It is weird. I mean, they were having success, and then you bring in some. It's like I guess because they didn't feel like they won a Super Bowl, but I don't know. It's a weird decision for sure.
I guess one really cool statistic too is Ronnie Hillman now has the longest touchdown run of the year right now for
Yeah,
running back. So it did happen this game, and considering with AP going in his big run, that it was
but
actually
that
Ronnie
was
Hillman
his
that.
was like yeah, because AP broke out. It was at 48 yards or something like that.
Yeah, and
It was a good game though. It was a good game.
yeah, well, it really was. It kind of. I always like watching these type of games where any team is still in it, like
Mm,
throughout the whole thing. Where just there's, I mean, unless it's like your home team, where you're blowing the
right.
other team out. It's exciting for you, as like your
Right.
home fan and everything. And admittedly, that it is really cool to watch. But um, I guess it's like any neutral NFL fan that really wants to come in here and watch a close game like this, that going back and forth and like seeing like, oh, can they pull it out, and like, and realistically Vikings were on that drive at the very end to try to win it.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the fumble, who knows? But they were definitely marching it downfield to get that attempt in there, and it's almost kind of it's really sad. Even for Vikings fans, you must be a little disappointed in Bridgewater, but I wouldn't throw him under the bus. It's second year pro. Um, these mistakes are just going to happen from any rookie, or especially from such a young quarterback. But I would still give him the benefit of the doubt. You're talented, Bridgewater. I'm talking to you personally. I know you listen to the show
Right.
week in and
Right.
week out. You're a
Right.
talented quarterback. You're only going to get better. And I hate it because you're in the same division as the Packers, and it's going to be. No, but for real, he is a very talented. They're a very talented team this year. So are the Broncos, and I guess to end it, that's probably why it was so entertaining to watch, is because both teams are
Well,
very talented.
you were watching two teams that are potentially in the playoffs that they're not going to ever meet, other than outside of a Super Bowl, they would only meet. This is the only time they could meet.
Yeah,
So it was cool to see two potential playoff teams from the AFC and the NFC matched up against each other, because that doesn't always happen every year.
that's
You
true.
know.
Yeah, that is very
So
true. So we're gonna end it with this. Again, if you go to our links in the description, we can go to your Facebook page or our Twitter. I said your Facebook page. I'm just gonna end this. I fucked up.